Maurice FitzThomas FitzGerald, 1st Earl of Desmond, was an Irish nobleman in the Peerage of Ireland, captain of Desmond Castle in Kinsale, so-called ruler of Munster, and for a short time Lord Justice of Ireland. He led a rebellion against the crown, and was suspected of aiming to make himself King of Ireland, but he was ultimately restored to favour. Background: he was the second son of Thomas Maurice FitzGerald, 2nd Baron Desmond, by his wife Margaret, whose family background is still in dispute. His father died in 1296 when he was still a child. The Earl succeeded his elder brother Thomas FitzGerald, 3rd Baron Desmond, as 4th Baron Desmond in 1307, and also inherited great wealth and large estates. Influence: by 1326 his influence was such that there were rumours of a conspiracy to make him King of Ireland. Modern historians tend to dismiss the story, on the ground that the alleged conspirators were other magnates who were more interested in increasing their own power than aggrandizing Desmond. Maurice was created Earl of Desmond by letters patent dated at Gloucester, England, the 27th of August 1329, by which patent also the County Palatine of Kerry was confirmed to him and his heirs male to hold of the crown by the service of one knight's fee. This was part of a crown policy of attempting to win the support of the magnates by conferring earldoms on them. In January 1330 he was summoned by Sir John Darcy, Lord Justice of Ireland, to fight armed Irish rebels, with a promise of the king's pay. It was Desmond who introduced the practice of coin and livery, the quartering of troops on the inhabitants of the district they were sent to protect, accepting the king's proposal. In addition to dealing with Munster and Leinster, he routed the O'Nolans and O'Morrows and burned the lands in County Wicklow and forced them to give hostages. He recovered the castle of Leigh from the O'Dempseys, and had a liberate of £100 dated at Drogheda the 24th of August 1335, in return for the expense he had incurred in bringing his men-at-arms, habelas, and foot soldiers, from various parts of Munster to Drogheda, and there, with Lord Justice Darcy, dispersed the king's enemies. In 1331 there were further rumours of an attempt to make him king, although there seems to be no foundation for them. The crown took them seriously enough to imprison Desmond for several months. He was released when a number of fellow nobles stood surety for his good behaviour. In 1339 he was engaged against Irish rebels in County Kerry, where it is said he slew 1,400 men, and took Nicholas, Lord of Kerry, prisoner, keeping him confined until he died as punishment for siding with the rebels against the crown. The same year he was present in the Parliament held in Dublin. He was summoned by writ dated at Westminster the 10th of July 1344, with Maurice, Earl of Kildare, and others, to attend the king at Portsmouth on the octaves of the Nativity of the Virgin Mary, with 20 men-at-arms and 50 habelas, at his own expense, to assist in the war against Philip, King of France. Rebellion. Desmond, who had long been acting with a certain disregard for the niceties of the law, now decided on open rebellion. In 1345 he presided at an assembly of Anglo-Irish magnates at Callan, County Kilkenny, ignored a summons to attend the Irish Parliament, and attacked Nina. He was a formidable opponent, and for the next 2 years his defeat was the main preoccupation of the crown. Desmond surrendered on a promise that his life would be spared. He was imprisoned and his lands forfeit. He was allowed to go under guard to England to answer the charges against him. By no means for the last time, the crown evidently decided that it could not govern Ireland without the magnates' support. In 1348 Desmond was released, and in 1349 pardoned. His loyalty does not seem to have been in question during the last years of his life. In July 1355 he was appointed Lord Justice of Ireland for life, dying, however, the following January in Dublin Castle. He was interred in the Church of the Friars Preachers in Tralee. Marriage and issue. The first Earl of Desmond married thrice. The 13th of August 1312 at Greencastle, Lady Margaret, 5th daughter of Richard de Burgh, 2nd Earl of Ulster, who died in Dublin in 1331. Margaret, daughter of Conor O'Brien, Prince of Thomond, by whom he had no male issue. Aveline, daughter of Nicholas Fitzmaurice, 3rd Baron Carey. By his first wife he had one son, Maurice FitzGerald, 2nd Earl of Desmond. By his third wife he had two sons, Nicholas, ancestor to Macrobert of Bellamullen and, say some, to the Mackenzies, Earl of Seaforth in Scotland. Gerald FitzGerald, 3rd Earl of Desmond, nicknamed Gerald the Poet. Ancestry.